and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. And welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. And welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then. Don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run. So you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live around the world on Facebook, on twitch.tv, on Mixer and on YouTube. While we're getting everything set up, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Runs and Rides YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/FilmMyRun, on Twitter at FilmMyRun, and you can also go to the website, which is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, and watch me do all the hard work.
Right on! You suck!
Hello everyone, welcome along. It's the New Balance Run Club, the New Balance Marathon Training Sessions, and we are doing a nice long 12.5 kilometre run today. Let me just get chat set up here. We are off in 30 seconds, so I need to hurry up. I hope everybody's well. I'm watching Facebook chat and I'm watching YouTube chat. So if you are watching, do say hello. If you've got any questions you want to ask, please do. We'll be here for a while because it's nice and easy paced. We're not going fast. We've got 12 kilometres to do, so it's going to be an hour of running. But let me just add a target and we can see how long it'll be. Oh, that's not right. We're off now. 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12.1, that'll do. Okay. Good gosh, going at this pace, it will be an hour and 30 minutes. I think we might speed up a bit, shall we? Right, so the warm-up is at 9 kilometres an hour. And I haven't put the fan on, but I'm sure I'll have to do that eventually, because it's going to get warm in here. Hey Paul, thank you for your ride on.
Ride on!
So we'll just gently ease ourselves into the run. Got a lot of running to do over the weekend, over at the National Running Show. So, and I have had my little niggle with my ankle. Pete Senior is with us. Anthony Lester is with us. Christophe Badu. Matty Edgar is here. Lauder Milk is here. Gabriella Kiriakou is here. Luca, thank you for your ride on. Andrew Cutmore says, good evening, Stephen. And he's out running with the club tonight. Yeah, my wife is running with the club outdoors tonight. So the worrying thing is the kids are in the house on their own. I've told them not to fight and to come in and see me if they need to. So if we are interrupted at any point by children, you'll know they've been fighting in the house. So there you go, 12 kilometres, about 7.5 miles. Michael Hasser, thank you for your ride on.
Ride on!
We're all going at our own set paces. So in Zwift we have paces set for us. And each run that we do, each workout that we do is designed to fit with our paces. So you're never going to go too fast or too slow. Brian Dell, thank you.
Ride on!
Occasionally we get group runs where everyone goes at the same pace. And quite often those group runs are split into groups A, B, C and D. Faster runners, slower runners, etc. Jarlstig from Sweden, thank you for your ride on.
Ride on!
But yeah, we're taking it nice and steady. These New Balance marathon runs are deliberately designed for new runners or people who are doing their first marathon. And so they're designed to be generally easy, steady runs, but just introducing people to different types of running during the course of a 10-week set of runs. So this is our first long run. Andrew Cutmore, thank you.
Ride on!
And up to 9.6. So tomorrow I'm getting on a train, I'm going to Birmingham in the middle of the UK, and Saturday and Sunday we do the... Oh, Eric Min, thank you very much.
Right on.
Saturday and Sunday we do the National Running Show. Derrida, thank you for your ride on.
Right on.
You mean to say, Jonathan, you haven't got 2 treadmills in the house? What's going on? Surely there's a blue treadmill for you and a pink treadmill for Carol. Ryan Perring, I saw your ride on there, thank you.
Right on.
So 400 metres to go of the warm-up. And if you've not seen these New Balance marathon training sessions before, you'll notice a lot more text on the screen. So this is text that I've written. Running advice, marathon training advice, instructions for the run. But it's a lot more text heavy than you might get in some other runs. And that is deliberate. So, 300 metres to go, and then we start basically a very easy progression. So we start at 10.8 kilometres an hour, we slowly raise it So by the end we're doing about 12 kilometres an hour. So this run is going to take over an hour to do. So just coming up to the first main kilometre, 10.3, and then we're up to 10.8, I think. Any second now.
Okay, let's go.
Here we are, right, 10.8 kilometres an hour. And we need to settle in now and get running. Gradual increases all the way for the next 11 kilometres. I've had a very easy week this week because of my dodgy ankle, which is a lot better now. Do you know what? I'm thinking of doing that as well, Jonathan. Just choosing a route and going around it. Did it in New York, didn't I, the other day when I went wrong? Yeah, my ankle is a lot better. Still definitely feel something there, but because I've had a very easy week this week, taking it nice and slow on every run I've done, although I have run every day, I've taken it easy every day, pretty much. A. Robinson, thank you.
Right on.
So the idea with these runs, as it's just said on screen, is to be at conversational pace, so you're not out of breath. I did get the badge, Jonathan, just because I kept going until I got it. No, Jonathan. So the cycling routes, you have to cycle. The running routes, well, obviously you can only run because you can't cycle on the running routes. Ward, thank you for your ride on, buddy.
Right on.
Don't forget to subscribe to that Zwift Live YouTube channel on Saturday and Sunday. I'm hoping to stream the whole show, the whole National Running Show live. Obviously it will be of the Zwift stand. I'm not going to be walking around with the camera all the time to every different stand, but I will sit my camera somewhere, point it at the treadmills or at the big screen or whatever looks most interesting, and stream live, hopefully for the whole day, so you can see exactly what we get up to. Matthias has got his run module and says after calibration it's fine, although incline is wrong. I think they are going to work on incline. I think there's obviously some issue with incline, but it's good that you've got the pace settings down, because a lot of people are having trouble with that as well. So Pete Sini running right alongside me. Michael Hasser, Anthony Lester already a bit ahead. But remember, this group isn't likely to stay together, because we are all going different paces. We're all going our own paces. Thank you for that ride on, whoever that was. No, I wouldn't get a badge for running the full PRL, no. N Diamond, thank you.
Right on.
I'm not worried. I wouldn't do it for the badge though. I'd do it for the challenge. The next job is to consider whether to do the full PRL with incline or just flat. It'd be great to do it with incline, wouldn't it? But that might take me more than 24 hours. The thing is, you'd do the climbs, but you'd never get the recovery on the downhills, would you? Okay, so nearly at the end of our second kilometre, our first kilometre proper after the warm-up, 100 metres to go, and then we'll just bump it up a little bit more. Vetterman, thank you for your ride on. And Ryan Downey as well, cheers buddy.
Right on.
So I think I'll leave it 1 or 2 more kilometres and then I'll put the fan on. Heart rate looks about right though, 132 BPM at the moment. And there we are, the 2 kilometre marker, exactly the right place. Boom! Up to 11.1. Perez, thank you for your ride on.
Right on.
I think actually I might just drop some ride-ons now before we get too far into it. I often do it at the end, but by then sometimes some people have dropped out. Right on, Darren, thank you, buddy.
Right on.
Right, so there's Michael Hasser, so we'll drop one on him. Lester, Loudermilk, Vitasini, Christophe Badu, Matty Edgar, D Mills. Where's Gabriella Kiriakou? I knew that she'd drop back a bit, you see, so I wanted to get that ride on in. Oh no, just missed her now, never mind. Sorry, Gabriella. Oh, hold on a minute. There we go, got them. Ah! Where are we? Gabriella. Come on. There she is. And K-Bye. Well done to you. Oh, come on. Right, now back to me. Tom Sunder, thank you very much for your ride on.
Right on.
So we're just going to gradually tick off the kilometres. Try and keep the heart rate in zone 3. And Ward is giving Christophe a bit of encouragement, both Belgians. And Boehner, thank you very much, from Germany.
Right on.
mustn't forget to have a shave before I head off to the National Running Show. Just aware I haven't done one for ages. I feel like I'm growing a beard. So 10 kilometres left to run of the marathon, the New Balance marathon training run. Johansson, thank you for your ride on.
Right on.
Jack it up.
Jonathan, I honestly don't know. I don't think so. I think they're likely to be both the same, to be honest. To be absolutely frank, I've never been to the National Running Show before, but it has only been going for a couple of years. I hear that the very first one was very small and not particularly great, but it was much bigger last year and apparently much bigger this year. So I don't know until I get there what we're going to be faced with. But I think both days are going to be pretty much the same. The only thing I would say in terms of our Q&As, we might be better on the Sunday because we've had a chance to practice on the Saturday. Is that an aeronautical term, Roger Dodger? 3 kilometres done. And you can see the next 2 kilometres just ever such a slight increase in pace.
Jack it up.
So it looks like Peter Sini is sticking with me. So he's probably deliberately sticking with me and not going at the paces that are assigned to him on the screen. That would be my guess, because it would be very surprising if we both had exactly the same paces. So maybe the Pete is sticking with the group leader, which is absolutely fine. Nice to run together, as long as it's not too fast or too slow for him. Heart rate 139. But like I say, we want to keep this all in zone 3 if we can. Ideally, we hardly touch zone 4 at all. We'll see how fit I am, won't we? If I'm not fit, we'll go into zone 4. It won't tell us, will it? Because those paces are my paces. Yeah, it doesn't. Those paces up there are mine. It doesn't say what theirs are. There's 3.5 kilometers done. Burning fat as fuel efficiently means you're less reliant on glycogen for fuel. So on your long runs, don't stuff yourself full of sugary gels. Try and let your own fat resources provide the fuel. Nine kilometers left to run. Okay, so Anthony Lester is saying kilometer 4 is 11.6. Is it Anthony Lester? Sorry if it's not. A Lester anyway. Kilometer 4 is 11.6. Okay, kilometer. Yeah, that's way faster than mine. Is that including the warm-up? 1, 2, 3. The next kilometre for me will be 11.3. I'm at 11.2 now, then 11.3, yeah. Oh, thank goodness for that, Anthony. And Andrew Cutmore says, what is FTP in settings? That's your functional threshold. So it's the pace that you can go, or the power that you can generate for an hour. And that is your functional threshold. We do that, we measure that by carrying out tests. So there is a 5-minute test and a 20-minute test. I mean, it's common in cycling. So you do a 5-minute test or a 20-minute test, and that determines, you go as hard as you can for 20 minutes, and then there's a maths algorithm that works out what your functional threshold would be for an hour of running or an hour of cycling. And then that determines your training. So if you're working to heart rate or if you're working to power, if you know what your functional threshold is, you can work either side of that to say, well, I'm going to have an easy run or a hard run, or it determines what groups you enter for races. So if you know that a cycling race is for riders who have an FTP of 200, then if your FTP is 230, then you'll go for a higher group in that race. Or vice versa, if your FTP is only 160, then you would enter a race with or a group in that race with a lower FTP. I think there is an FTP test in running in the workout section. I think there is. Brian, right, okay. So your treadmill is definitely broken. That was a bit of a disaster last night, wasn't it? Right, downside to the My Run. If you like a button to press that will immediately take you to 12 kilometers an hour or 16 kilometers an hour, there are no buttons. So to increase and decrease the pace, you have to do the paddles. And you have to kind of keep holding it to go up and keep holding it to come down. It only goes to 20 kilometers an hour, so if you need to go faster than that, it won't take you faster than that. It only goes to 12% elevation, so if you need elevation higher than that, the My Run might not be for you. But it is a small, stylish, compact, but very robust treadmill. GKR, thank you. Hello to you, buddy. And yeah, Ryan Downey makes a good point. Make sure that you know that you've got a service centre nearby or people who can come out and fix it. I have had to have the deck and the belt replaced on this. Well, it was the deck, but because they had to replace the deck, they had to replace the belt as well. So I have had a deck and belt replacement on this. GKR, when you say personal best, for what? For what distance are we talking about? And Peter Denny says he loves his My Run. And I love the My Run as well, I really do like it. However, if somebody offered me a Woodway, I probably wouldn't turn them down. 8 kilometres left to run of the long run here today on the marathon. The New Balance marathon training runs. De Bruyne, thank you very much.
Right on.
Is that the De Bruyne that plays for Manchester City? And Belgium. I just realised I've been running at the wrong pace for ages. GKR1 says, what is my personal best or PR for the half marathon? It is 1 hour 25:41, I think. 1 hour 25 minutes. I think it was 41 seconds. And that was in the Cardiff half marathon in 2016. So about 3 years ago now. So maybe it's about time I thought about trying to break it again. Although I'm not sure I could break that time. That was quite good. Robert Sidwell, absolutely. Yeah, it should be good fun. Saturday and Sunday I'm there, Robert. Travelling on the train up there tomorrow. Really looking forward to it. It should be good to meet some Zwifters as well. And obviously I'll meet a lot of people I know from the running community at large in general. So coming up to the next pace increase. 5 kilometres done.
Nice.
And we're up to 11.5 kilometres an hour. Still keeping it nice and steady. Still, well, we're in zone 3 now. We were in zone 2 actually, so we were doing quite well. GKR, yes. The thing is, I do a lot of ultra running these days, long distance runs, and it's very difficult to find the time to train specifically for short distances. So half marathon is one that you'd have to, specifically train to try and get to a decent time. But I'm not saying I won't go for it again. I'm sure I will try again one day. I said GKR was telling me to speed it up. So I'm following a workout, GKR. So if you look on the screen, you can see the instructions. So I'm the group leader. I have a yellow beacon next to my name, and I am leading the New Balance Run Club, and we're going at a specific pace. So I'm currently going at 11.5 kilometres an hour, and you see on the left of the screen what's coming up. So the one after this is 11.6, 11.7, 11.9. So we do gradually speed up, but this is deliberately supposed to be an easy run, a relaxed, slow, easy run, making sure the heart rate is nice and low. Anthony Lester says, Stephen, can you read the questions out? Oh, that people are... Okay, I will do. Peter Denny is saying that the other night he saw it was over 16,000 Zwifting last night. Or the other night, rather. I've heard of Equinox, Robert. So Robert is saying, have you ever looked into the Endure in Leeds? A good ultra race. We did Equinox in Grantham this year and it was spot on. I've heard of both races, Endure and Equinox. Or is it called the Endure Equinox? Anyway, yeah, I do certainly need to do a few more runs up north. A lot of my long runs tend to be either abroad or down south here in the UK. Jinxie, thanks for your ride on, buddy.
Right on.
Right, let's put the fan on. Yeah, it is always about this time of year that we get large numbers of runners on Zwift, large numbers of cyclists. You know, you come into the new year, everybody's got a new training plan, a New Year's resolution to keep fit. And so we always see big numbers, and of course the weather here in the Northern Hemisphere can get pretty cold, miserable outside, dark early in the evenings. Cyclists don't want to go out on the roads. Runners are less bothered. Runners will go out in anything. But it is slightly safer for runners. I certainly wouldn't want to be a cyclist in the dark on the roads of the UK on an icy cold night. Right, 200 metres to go, and then we have another tiny increase in pace. M. Wolf from Germany, thanks for the ride on, buddy.
Right on.
Just coming out from under the glass tunnels, trying to keep the heart rate in zone 3, so 145 is good. Robert Sidwell says he has signed up for his first marathon in October. Good luck to you, Robert. So get on these marathon training runs. And here we go.
Okay, let's go.
Right on.
So we've done 6 kilometres. 6.5 to go. We are nearly halfway through the New Balance Marathon training run for this Thursday. Tomorrow we're off to Birmingham. Darren Chandler Singh, thank you very much.
Right on.
And Walt Huddle, thank you as well.
Right on. Thank you. Right on.
So Robert is asking, he keeps hearing people talking about a 16-week plan. Any advice? Okay, if it's your first marathon, it depends what you've done before. If you have done training blocks before, I would say 16 weeks is perfectly adequate. Some people do it in just 12 weeks. And the advice is to have a plan, have a structure. You can look online, some places online you'll find pre-written marathon training plans. Zwift doesn't have a full marathon training plan, has a half marathon training plan. But this is what I would advise. You have a week program or a 2-week program. And let's call it a week. In that week, you're going to run one long run, one interval session, a speed interval session, one hill session, one threshold run, and one easy run. So that's 5 runs. You could do 4 runs, and over 2 weeks you could alternate, say, the hill session and the interval session. If you're in the UK, also you could also put park run in there as one of your sessions. So 5k park run on a Saturday morning. Every Sunday you go out and do your long run. Now your long run could start at 8 miles, say, nice and slowly, and each week you add a couple of miles. And your longest run, anything from 20 to 22, 24 miles if you want, but no hard and fast rules. But just add a couple of miles each week. Don't panic if you get really tired. You know, you could have a week off and just drop the mileage down a week. But in general, you kind of gradually increase the distance of your long run every week. By the end of your training, you want to be doing probably around 40 miles a week in training. So your interval session, basically you just choose to do any kind of interval. So 1 minute on, 1 minute off, or run between lampposts, recover between lampposts, or 400 meters fast, 100 meters walking or really slow. That's your interval session. Your threshold session is a run of about 5 miles to 7 miles of running in zone 4 of your heart rate. So nice and quick, uncomfortable, but not all out. And what else? So long run, threshold run, interval session, hill session, park run, very easy run. You don't have to run every day. Have 1 day off a week. Here we go again, up to 11.7 now.
Right on!
Oh, blimey, Jonathan. You think I am knowledgeable about food? You are very much mistaken. But yeah, okay, we'll find somewhere. We'll go into London, shall we, and eat somewhere in London. So, Robert, I hope you've written all that down, have you? And make sure you taper as well. So 3 weeks before your marathon, you need to cut your mileage in half. You can still do fast running, but don't do as much distance. And then cut it in half again a week before your marathon. So we're running along the beach in Watopia. This is kind of reminiscent of Long Beach in California. Mark Hewitt, thank you for your ride on, buddy.
Right on!
Robert, also experiment with food. You need to start experimenting with nutrition, drinks, and clothing as well, what you're going to wear so you're comfortable. You don't want anything to be a surprise on marathon day. So you need to know what the marathon is offering as their sports drink of choice. And unless you're going to carry your own water or your own nutrition supply, you need to be comfortable with whatever sports drink is being offered on the route. Try not to consume too much sugar, because that'll make you sick. I know some people can manage it perfectly well, but too many gels and my stomach turns over. So think about fasted runs as well. Think about teaching your body to use its fat resources as fuel efficiently rather than taking sugar on board all the time. You'll still need sugar, but if you can teach your body to burn fat, then you won't need as much sugar. I mean, your body does burn fat anyway, but the metabolism is very slow. The process of what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, metabolizing fat is much slower than it is for burning glycogen. So you need to teach your body to burn it quicker and more efficiently. So some fasted runs might be a good idea. Laura Eppelbaum, thank you for your ride on.
Ride on!
Ryan, you're more than welcome to the sofa here in the shed quarters. So Ryan Downey's coming over to the UK sometime in the summer, and he's just saying you may have to spend the entire week here. Darren, thank you for your ride on, buddy.
Ride on!
It's so easy to get set up for Zwift running. All you need are a few things. Firstly, access to a treadmill. Either at home or at the gym, it doesn't matter what kind of treadmill you use, any treadmill will work with Zwift. Next, you need a foot pod, preferably a Bluetooth foot pod, and the most popular ones to use at the moment are the Zwift Pod or the Stride. Then simply download the Zwift app onto any of these devices. So a Mac, a PC, an iPhone, an iPad, an Android phone, Zwift even works on Apple TV. Pair your foot pod in the app, possibly add a heart rate monitor if you like, and that's it. You're all set up for Zwift running. So we've passed 8 kilometres, 4.5 to go of the New Balance Marathon Training Run Club. Still managing in zone 3, and we do not want to go into zone 4. This whole run should be comfortable enough that you can talk, not constantly talk, but you can chat. Your breathing isn't too laboured, and you're relatively comfortable. So when we start to get into zone 4, we are starting to work hard. Definitely harder anyway. About 20 minutes left of running. Darren says we're coming for you guys. Come on then, Darren. Get a move on, catch us up. D. Morwood, thank you for the ride on.
Right on! Nice!
I can see it, Darren. Darren just said wave if you can see this text. So that's why I waved. And Brent Hansen, cardiac athletes. Thanks for the ride on.
Right on!
So you can see how heavily texted these New Balance Run Club runs are. I've deliberately put a lot of training advice in there. A lot of my own theories as well, my own thoughts. Rob Harrison, thanks for the ride on.
Right on!
Okay, coming up to the end of the 8th kilometre, into the 9th kilometre rather. And we're up to 12 kilometres an hour now. And we've got two more increases or one more increase to go after this one. So two more pushes of kilometres, 2 more kilometres of push, effort, whatever you want to call it. And then we've got a 1 mile cool down at the end. Heart rate is going up gradually, 151 beats per minute now. But I think I'm still in zone 3. And look, it says there, by now your heart rate is probably towards the top end of zone 3. Are we not? Oh gosh, I've put my messages wrong then. Thanks, Jonathan. Jonathan just said, my message there says we're now 10 kilometres in and we were only 9 kilometres in. Christophe Verdou's heart rate 146. Anthony Lester's 147. So that's good. Good zone 3 running, guys. Broadbridge from Sweden, thank you very much for your ride on.
Right on!
Michael House's heart rate is 148. Pete Seeney's is 149, but Pete Seeney is going faster than he is required to go, so that's no surprise that Pete's heart rate is slightly higher. Rob Harrison says good luck with the running show at the weekend. He says he should be joining us for one of the New Balance sessions on Saturday. Thank you, Rob. Much appreciated. Let's get a little crowd of runners for the audience to look at the New Balance. I mean, I don't know how, there might be nobody there, for goodness sake, but hopefully there's an audience watching us run. There'll be a big screen, and it'd be nice if we've got a few runners there, all running together. Jonathan Cost, no, it doesn't. But I'm fairly confident that my heart rate is correct. I mean, I've got quite a good understanding of my perceived effort, and 154 looks about right to me. I'm very comfortable, gradually getting a little more tired as the run goes on, but I'm fine, and 156 is perfectly reasonable. I'm quite confident that the reading is okay. That's one thing about the MyRun treadmill. There are no bells and whistles on it. Basically, you're spending your money on a decent motor, a decent deck, even though I have had to replace it once. Let's just say a decent motor. So there are no flashy extras. There are no, apart from the app, on the treadmill itself, there are no programs you can do. There's no automatic up and down. There's no buttons to press to instantly go to 15 kilometers per hour, for example. You have to do everything manually. So the money that you're paying for this treadmill, I'm hoping, has gone on the motor, the drive for the treadmill. Right, here we go. Final increase now.
Nice. Hammer time.
Pete Sini says he had a coffee before he ran. That might have increased your heart rate a bit, Pete. Darren. Maybe I can, I don't know. There are a couple of runners running with us who haven't got... there's somebody next to me who is not in the workout. So whether that's you or not, because I haven't seen your name come up. Oh really, Jonathan? Jonathan's saying he had a ticker heart rate monitor and he sent it back because HR was intermittent and cadence never registered. Wow. Well, I've always thought the ticker had worked pretty well for me. And when you look at reviews and asking people about heart rate monitors, most people say the ticker is one of the best. So maybe you just got a dud model. Oh, Ryan, do you know what? I'm not, mate. I'm gonna pack and do things for my journey tomorrow. Ryan Perring is saying, am I joining for the ride? There is a big ride tonight. Eric Min and Garrett Thomas are riding. It'd be really nice to do it, but I just think, well, let me think about it. I might do. I'd say it's unlikely. Darren, you are right beside me now. Or just in front of me, Darren. Yes, I see you. So once we get to the end of this kilometre, we will begin slowing down and recovering for 1 mile. So we've got Brent Hansen and Darren Van Dit, who've just joined us on the run. All right, Ryan, let me think about it. Ryan's still trying to persuade me to do this group ride in a minute. The other thing is my kids are in the house on their own, so I don't really want to leave them too long while I'm out here in the shed. So just over 200 metres left, and we'll get into the cool down for 1 mile. Darren, we've got 1 mile to go basically. Just cool down now. So we've done nearly 11 kilometres. We've got 1,600 metres cool down coming up. And Peter Denny is not riding with Geraint Thomas either tonight. But good luck to everyone who does that ride tonight. Enjoy it. And Ryan Downey suggesting I drag the treadmill back into the kitchen so I'm with the kids. Yeah, that might take a little bit of sorting out. Right, there we go. So we are back down to 11 kilometres an hour now.
Nice!
11 kilometres an hour, Darren. And we're in recovery. Kilometre and a half to go. Remember to eat and drink well once we've finished, says the message. And we've managed the whole of that run in zone 3, so that's great. Exactly what we want. Very gradually bring the pace down now. Your body uses protein, fat and carbohydrate more efficiently immediately following exercise. And Sorensen, thanks for the ride on, buddy.
Right on!
Yeah, that's it. That's it for today, Darren. Oh my goodness, Patrick Tan says there are 4.8 thousand runners in the pen for the ride with Geraint and Eric. Amazing. Dejan Dagan, thank you for your ride on, buddy.
Right on!
And Carol Brunel, thank you.
Right on!
For Patrick Tan, it is 3:30 a.m. That is crazy, Patrick. Okay, coming to the final kilometre now. Oh, keep U form, that's not good. Be aware of your HR and breathing and gradually settling, but keep U form. That's not very good English, is it? Need to redo that for the next time. Ryan Downey, I'm sure there'll be plenty of people streaming it live. ...650 metres to go. And as is often the case, me and Christophe Badou are finishing it up together. Yeah, Ryan is just asking, what's the biggest ride on Zwift? And 5,000 nearly must be close, he says. Yeah, I cannot think of a ride where we've had more than 5,000. But then again, I'm not that involved with the running community these days. Ryan Downey's looking for a live stream, but he says he won't he won't watch any old schmuck. Dawson, thank you for your ride on.
Right on!
So coming to the end now, 400 metres to go. Cooling it down, chilling out. Night time on the run path in Watopia. Well, Ryan says he's hoping that Zwift doesn't crash tonight. If there is ever going to be a crash, it will be tonight. With nearly 5,000 concurrent in one race, in one ride. You never know. Vidar Sorensen says, what's the easiest way to give a ride on to somebody? I would have thought via the companion app. It depends if you're running or if you're not running. If you're running, I often find it easier just to get the keyboard and flick between different runners. If you're not running, if you're not logged into Zwift, then yeah, just use the companion app. So guys, thank you very much for joining me. Been good banter again on the chat on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you very much everybody for getting involved, taking part. Long old run, 1 hour and 6 minutes so far. Just coming to the end now, 150 meters of the New Balance Marathon Training Run Club. Long run done. That's 12.5 kilometers, so 12.6 in all. Thank you, Christoph, for sticking with me at the end there, and Pete Seeney's with us as well. Well done, guys. Cheers for your company. No streaming tomorrow because I'm on my way to Birmingham. But we'll see you live from the National Running Show on Saturday morning.
Nice.
So max heart rate was 160 for a little bit, but not enough to get the average heart rate into zone 4. So we stayed in zone 3 for the whole thing. Thank you, Christoph. Good job, buddy. And that's it, 12.63 kilometers. We may as well walk out 100 meters just to get the XP points, to get to 12.75. Always good to just get those last few points. Ian Vinton of Zwift HQ London. Thank you for your ride on, buddy.
Right on.
Right. There we are. So 12 kilometers done, nearly 13 kilometers done really, and that's it for today. Tomorrow I'm getting on a train, I'm going to Birmingham, and I will get a run in somewhere, but it won't be on Zwift tomorrow. And then Saturday morning, bright and early, hopefully I'll be able to stream live from the event. It won't be like this, it won't be my proper Zwift live run streaming, but it'll just be a kind of a standard live stream from the National Running Show. Might take you, I mean, if I've got time, I'll take you around and show you what's going on. But generally, it'll just be a static shot of the Zwift stand at the running show, and then throughout the day, we'll be running little races with people on the treadmill. So 1 kilometer races on the treadmill. And then I'll be running the New Balance marathon training runs just to demonstrate Zwift to everybody. Hopefully we'll have some people watching and I can talk and chat and explain what's going on the screen to people. And then if lots of you guys turn up, if you guys all sign up to race, to run, you're not coming to the running show, sign up to the New Balance marathon training runs for Saturday and Sunday in the Zwift Companion app. And if I see your name on screen, I'll give you a shout out to the audience at the National Running Show. I'm bigging all this up. I really hope there are some people there, you know. I really hope there are. Oh dear. Anyway, there we are. So that's going to be the weekend. So I really hope that you can join me for something, either watching the live stream or taking part in the runs, or actually coming along to the show itself. Come up to me, say hi. Do tell me your name, because you all know my face, but I don't know your faces. Even people I know quite well, I might not know your face. So please do say who you are, so I know. And I have a terrible memory, so please, I apologise already if you're expecting me to know you and I have a memory blank. I do meet a lot of people. I really hope that I don't do that, but it has been known in the past for me to kind of look blankly at people when they're talking to me, and I'm going, please let me remember your name, please let me remember your name. Anyway, there we are. Okay, enough of me wittering on. Oh, do you know what? I may as well walk to 13 kilometres now, hadn't I? Look at that. 12.85. You can't not get to 13. Let's just walk it out. Bring that heart rate down a little bit more and we'll do 13 kilometres tonight. I won't do the ride. Vidar says, good luck in Birmingham. If I get my Stride foot pod, I'll join the run. Thank you, Vidar. And Ryan's laughing his head off at my stupidity. What else do you expect, Ryan? You know me by now. You know what I'm like. Got a memory like a sieve. I've been on Zwift for how many years? 5 years now, and you're telling me things about Zwift that I should know. I've got, like I say, my memory is terrible. Right, I am going away. It's been an absolute pleasure. Ryan Danny says, I've never seen a Ryan Perring stream, but I know his hair from... Well, yes, I know Ryan. Ryan Perring, I know. I'm not going to forget Ryan's face or name. And I've seen your face enough, Ryan, that I'd know you as well, I think. But actually, do you know what? I don't think I've seen a picture of Jonathan or Carol. Or maybe Carol I've seen. I'm not sure I've seen Jonathan's face. I can only... If I see anyone... Marcus Holmes, thanks for the ride on. If I see anyone with sunglasses and a moustache, then I'll know that's Jonathan, won't I? Right. 9, 9, 9, 9. Come on. 13. There we are. 13. 10 XP points in the bag. And we are done. Thank you very much, everybody. See you live from the National Running Show on Saturday morning. Hopefully. Anyway, if I'm allowed to stream. I think I should be. Should be fine. Take care, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.